Okay, so we're going to create a top-down 2D shooting game inside the Unreal 4 game engine. And we'll do a series of videos, and the first one is how do we set up the project. So I'm going to open up the Unreal game engine by double clicking on the icon. And for this exercise, we're going to create a project called 2D Shooter, and you'll get this dialog box appear, and it's going to be a game. Go to next, and we'll just use a blank template. Go to next, and remember, we don't need any starter content. Keep the maximum quality as it is. We're going to be using Blueprint, so we'll leave that. And I'm just going to change the location to documents, and select create a new folder, call it 2D Shooter, put underscore on there. So select the folder, you can see there now, and then we're going to call it the same name, 2D. Oh, we need to start with we'll call it Shooter underscore 2D, because it needs to start with a letter. So we'll create that project. As you can see on the splash screen, it comes up as Shooter 2D. Now, as you can see, it comes up with the default map with the sky and everything else. Well, we don't need that. We're going to create a brand new level or map, and it's just going to be blank. So I go File, New Level, Empty Level, and I'm going to save that file, Save Current As. I'm going to call this 2D Shooter underscore game. And that's the map, so save that. And as you can see, it's appeared there. And it might be a good idea, even at this early stage, we're going to start creating some folders. So we'll create a folder. This is for maps, just in case we've got more maps, and you can drag that map into there and select move. I'll create another folder, call that graphics. Create another folder called blueprints. And then another one for audio. And then maybe one more for materials. Okay. Now, if we left this as it was and you loaded up the project again, it would load up the default map. So to change that, go to Project Settings, go to Maps and Modes, and instead of the Editor Startup map being the template, which is the default one that was created with the project, change it to 2D Shooter Game, and the game default map, which is the one that loads up when you make the executable, change it to 2D Shooter. You don't need to save anything, you just need to close that window, and then that's automatically saved. Might be a good idea just to save everything. Okay, so now we're all set up. Now we're going to need a game mode, which is a blueprint. So go to Blueprints, right click, create a blueprint class, and as you can see, there's quite a few default ones, and the one's the game mode base class, and call that 2D game mode BP blueprint. So I'll save that. We're going to need this to tell the game what player controlled pawn that we're going to be using, which will be the craft that will be firing its weapons. And then go to blueprints again. I'm creating one more blueprint class. This time it's a pawn, and call that player craft BP. See this little pawn icon. Also, you notice there's an asterisk. That means it hasn't been saved yet, so click on the Save All button. So that will represent the craft, that will represent the game mode, which tells it that that needs to be spawned into the game when we begin. Go back to contents. Oh, we need one more folder, and that's the GUI, or graphic user interface. And we're going to need to create a widget. So right click, user interface, widget, just call that start menu WD for widget, and that's the one that we're going to design the start screen. And then just save all, go back to contents, and now we're set up for the next video. I'll see you in the next video where we'll start to import the various graphics that we need.